Brandon, this is Fernando, Chris, and Tom. So some development in our marketing. Initially, we were planning on marketing to college students and households, initially right off the bat. But after doing this exercise, we decided that we're going to focus on the college market initially, and then look to expand to the household family market in year 2. We found that about 15% of the college market is interested in our product, and we look to acquire about 1% of them in the first year. Also looking at manufacturing costs, we decided that we're going to be a little bit more focused on price and maybe cut out a couple features like the soap dispensing that we discussed last time, but we'll still focus on environmental conditions like the water saving aspect of the feature that we previously discussed.
Yep, so getting into before we get into our market segmentation, I just want to briefly mention our product is the Cyclone Scrubber, which is used for washing dishes. It's an electric dish brush with water jet features to help you with your dishwashing products. So anyway, we segmented the market by demographics. So the demographics we used are student households, which was our initial target market that we're going to look at. The other segment that we looked at was family households, and we also thought about commercial businesses, so using this in a restaurant or maybe a food truck if you have reusable plates or cookware, for example. So the student households, which we were initially that was our target niche, we realized that they were probably the easiest to reach because you guys know we're all a little bit more susceptible to buzz marketing, viral marketing, social media. So that would be a little bit cheaper. It's a good place to start. And we also look for affordability, so we all have pretty budgeted incomes, and we would look for kind of alternative products at a lower price point that solve the same problem and go after those rather than buy a dishwasher. Family households, though, are such a big part of the market. They're so much larger, take up 91% of the market. They also are looking for affordability, but they will spend more for a better product. Actually, what's going on here is in the post-recession U.S. economy, there's kind of two groups that will spend more on a better product and a group that is still budgeting their expenses. So we'll kind of have the same spending needs as the student. And then the commercial segment is really kind of an unattractive option to us. They have different needs, such a small portion of the market, and they're kind of hard to reach because we'd have to market to them differently. So getting now into what the details of that segmentation looks like. The size numbers are based on U.S. Census Bureau data, and the college student number is based on 3 students on average living in a household. So the numbers up at the top are actually numbers of households rather than people, because you wouldn't sell 2 of these in one household. It's just you wouldn't have 2, you wouldn't need to. The percent interested, actually, from our CDFA Part 2, the percent interested of college students, we sampled 30 of them, and about 70% of them were interested. But since we only had a sample size of 30, and just if you say you're interested, that doesn't necessarily mean you have churches. We just kind of slash that number. And the same kind of happened for single-person households, family households, where we only sampled 10, and 60% were interested. So we just brought that number down to make our estimates a little bit more conservative. The growth rate doesn't factor into the calculations. It's just kind of interesting to know. And our selling price was based on the CDFA Part 2. The assumption that we're making here is that the family, single-person households, and the commercial businesses will buy the premium version of our product, which is $50, versus the polypropylene version of our product, which is only $25. And then we got our unit costs by comparing them to the production costs of a similar product. So this was basically, we took the price of a coffee maker and averaged it with the price of an electric mixer, just because those have very similar components, like the heating element and the motor. So we did that for the polypropylene version and got $14, and then later found an estimate that actually said that something like this would cost $14. So we decided we just applied it to the other products as well. And then from that, we got our profit potential. So what you see here is the shift we made was that we were really going to focus on the niche of college students, but since there's so much more people who live in the family household segment, we're going to actually go after that we'll still start in the college student market, but we're going to try to quickly branch out into family and single-person households because the amount of money in that segment is so large. Oh, okay. So,
Oh, I can put you off. Sorry. So in year one, we're looking to market through catalogs and viral marketing to the college students because that works for our market. And then year two, when we're expanding to the more mass market, to general household consumers, we're looking to transition over to infomercials. And we're not doing those initially because they're quite expensive and we need to build up some funds to expand that way. And so our product on the perceptual map is nicer than the existing handheld scrubbers like the Black & Decker kitchen scrubber, and is nicer than just your standard ordinary sponge, but we're not going as high quality and functional as a dishwasher. It's still a kind of middle of the line product.
Going off the market segmentation numbers, we found a profit and an income statement. For sales revenue, we want to take a very conservative approach to what we can retain in the market as far as market share, because it is a national market. For that reason, we did a 1% retention rate of the whole market, which would give us $400,000 in sales, about 17,000 units sold in our first year. After you deduct some operating expenses, which would be our design costs and provisional patent, then we're going to be looking at basic marketing for like direct marketing campaigns to look at that, kind of throw flyers and things like that, and then just basic administrative. We're left with about $130,000 for our first year in profit. That's just targeting college students alone in our first year. And then we plan to use this money, like I said, to approach the family market with a much more larger market that will hopefully be more lucrative for us. There we, again, hope to get a 1% retention rate in the market of the family household that hopefully will also repeat our previous year of year one in college students, which would create $3 million worth of sales. Again, similar operating expenses just amplified a little bit due to the higher volume. But then in our marketing and sales, we plan to do that, invest $1 million worth of TV advertisements and commercials and things like that. Which is the reason for the high marketing and sales costs. Then after those costs, you're looking at about $600,000 in revenue, or net profit, excuse me. And then last year, we kind of want to combine all three markets together, and we'll hopefully experience some nice growth. In year 5, we hopefully will do, again, 1% retention rate. But we're going to be doing a very casual approach to the restaurants, because we don't think it's going to be a great market for us, but we think there will be some traction and it won't require a lot of effort for us. So we expect to expand into that market and then hopefully repeat the previous years of sales as well, giving us, and then similar operating costs, and we want to continue our marketing budget through TV, because we really believe that is our best marketing channel. And then after that, we're left with about $1.5 million worth of total income for year 3.
So we have come to the conclusion that to keep on working on this venture would be a good idea because of the amount of profit that it brings to us. The next steps that we would take would involve contacting a manufacturer to lower the unit production cost of the objects. Then we would probably contact an angel investor to get a boost in cash to invest in the business again. And we would also contact some certain distributors such as Target, Bed Bath & Beyond, and Staples to go into mass production and make Cycle Scrubber a company that is for the future. That's all we have to say, and thank you for your attention.
I'm Brandon Celesti. I'm a mechanical engineering student with a business minor. I took this class looking for a little more direction for when designing a product outside of just the engineering, looking at the business plan needed and the marketing information that is needed.
And I'm Chris Oliveira. I'm a chemical engineer, and I'm getting an entrepreneurship minor. And yeah, I definitely agree with you that there's a lot more that goes into a business than the product itself. And as an engineer, as a scientist, you can kind of get bogged down in the mechanical aspects of it, and you really can very quickly, that lose sight of the big picture and end up developing a product or just simply missing out on an innovation that you could have employed that would have made the company a lot more money. So I think kind of the key to being kind of having a diverse educational background and kind of meshing your engineering experience with something entrepreneurial is that you learn about these sorts of things and learn about how your company executives think, and you can kind of get into how you can actually benefit the company by kind of changing your point of view a little bit and helping develop a better product.
Yeah, and when you're developing a product, you can engineer it and design it perfectly, but without a successful marketing strategy, it's not going to do well. So, like, having just some background information on the marketing strategy that's necessary is very valuable.
Hi, my name is Cheryl Minnis, and I teach entrepreneurial marketing. In the class, we go from idea generation to opportunity evaluation, and we evaluate the opportunity by doing market research, and we really stress the importance of talking to your potential customers to really determine whether or not you have an opportunity worthwhile. What I hope students get out of my class is an understanding of that a lot of us have really great ideas, but it's important to really talk to the customer and really do some deep market research to determine if it's a viable opportunity, and take those skills out of the class so that they can feel confident in their decision of whether or not to pursue an opportunity. That's it.